U.S. imposes sanctions on Palestinians who asked for Israel war crime probes. So looking at the aggregator, this has got mostly left and center-leaning distribution, with 19% coming from the right. So there is a little bit of reporting from the right, but mostly from the center, and then from the left as well. So I've got a story pulled up by Reuters. It does say it's behind a paywall, but for some reason on the Brave browser, I'm able to get around it. So very high factuality, center-leaning distribution. Let's get into the story here. U.S. imposes sanctions on Palestinians who asked for Israel war crime probe. The United States has imposed sanctions on 3 Palestinian human rights groups that asked the International Criminal Court to investigate Israel over allegations of genocide in Gaza, according to a notice posted to the U.S. Treasury Department's website on Thursday. 3 groups, Gaza-based Palestinian Center for Human Rights and Al-Mezian Center for Human Rights, and the Ramallah-based Al-Haq, and I'm probably pronouncing all of those wrong, were listed under the Treasury Department, said the International Criminal Court related delegations. The groups asked the ICC in November 2023 to investigate Israeli airstrikes on densely populated civilian areas in Gaza, the siege of the territory, and displacement of the population. A year later, the ICC issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense chief Yoav Gallant, as well as Hamas leader Ibrahim al-Masri, for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has imposed sanctions on the ICC judges as well as its chief prosecutor over the Israeli arrest warrants and past decisions to open a case into alleged war crimes by U.S. troops in Afghanistan. The ICC, which was established in 2002, has jurisdiction over war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide in its 125 member countries. Some nations, including the US, China, Russia, and Israel, do not recognize its authority. Because when you're a big thug, why would you recognize somebody else's authority, right? If you've got more power, that's like a superhero that has to be accountable. Like, just to put this into the lamest terms that I possibly can, like the ICC is like a police force, and Russia and Israel and China and the US are like superhumans jacked up with fucking super soldier serum that like could literally just bend prison wall bars and like step out. And they're being like, yeah, we don't recognize the police's authority because we don't have to. That's what that is. So sorry to dumb it down like that, but U.S. sanctions against Palestinian groups comes days after the world's biggest academic association of genocide scholars passed a resolution saying the legal criteria have been met to establish Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Israel called the announcement disgraceful and entirely based on Hamas's campaign of lies. Israel launched its assault in the Gaza Strip in October 2023 after fighters from Hamas, the Palestinian militant group in control of the territory, attacked southern Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking 250 hostages back to Gaza. Since then, Israel's military actions have killed 63,000 people, forced nearly all of Gaza's residents to flee their homes at least once, and set off a starvation crisis in parts of the enclave that a global hunger monitor describes as a famine. So, not great news there. Hey, thanks for checking out this video from Nightly News this morning. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.